They can hear me, but can they hear you?
Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
To episode 198 of the HAC Show. Back to our regular format after what I will now officially dub the month of Resident Evil. And, you know, Jack, I now understand how you feel. I think at one point during these past 5 years of us doing this shtick, I think you were like playing like one Resident Evil game after another, and so you had to like withdraw yourself from it after a while.
Yeah, like as much as I love the Resident Evil games, just like maybe later, take a break.
Yeah, 1 year to be exact. Welcome, folks. Welcome on a very important day. I'm the generally beautiful and moronic HAC.
And I'm your favorite VTuber, Jack.
And, you know, today is a very important day, Jack. You know, stakes are on the line. You know, people are out there in the streets of the U.S. And you want to know why? You want to know why, Jack?
Because of voting?
Of course. As in voting with your wallets, because Metal Slug Tactics has just released on all platforms. So vote with your wallet, folks. Support, you know, a humble Japanese video game developer by purchasing Metal Slug Tactics, which I doubt is going to be some $60 price, $70 pshaw. You want to give your wallet to people who want to take your money and give you so little in return? Nay, I say. Spend wisely on a fun game that is great to look at and also great to play. So I'll be shilling this game through the entire streets of Metal Slug Tactics, SK. Where's my sponsor money? I would love that. Gonna get early in on the Garros City of the Wolves. Yes. Hello. Also get us in the chat. And yes, it is out. Better pick it up now before it's too late. And before too late, I mean, it's gonna be, you know, on store shelves, digital shelves for a good until the two of those things go down. But don't hesitate. Vote with your wallet. Support Metal Slug Tactics today. All right. With that little unpaid shilling out of the way, because we've been playing video games for an entire month, Jack and I have a bunch of things we want to share, talk about, of things we were doing, of not just during the month of October, but also prior during our last vacation from doing this show. So a whole bunch of stuff we want to share, and I think I got a good way to actually arrange this. So first off, look, I'm sure Jake have a ton of things to share. So I'm gonna segregate it by.
Oh.
It's a word you can use. Just because it has a lot of baggage doesn't mean you can't use it.
Doesn't mean you can't use it anymore. That's how I'm gonna say for the N word.
Exactly, niggardly.
Yes, I forgot about that one.
Exactly. Any case, I will divide it up into media so we can keep things focused and as we talk through these various topics. So I believe games is going to be a big one. So we'll keep the game talk a little later. I think I believe for start off small. It's a real word.
It's a real word.
It's a real word. You can look it up. Just be careful how you spell it.
Yep.
So before I forget where I discovered that word from. I want to say it's a Dave Chappelle sketch, a Chappelle Show sketch, but it's probably not. I probably found it from somewhere else.
It was a sketch where these people were saying words that were kind of that sounded offensive, but were not actually.
Maybe it's a Key and Peele sketch. Sounds like a Key and Peele sketch. Anyways,
yeah, let me look it up.
So first off, Jack, from the vacation and during the month of October. Did you see any movies you want to that you want to talk about?
Let's see. Did I see? Hold on. I got my ticket history here.
Also, hello, John, and also hello, Johnny. Hey, look, 10 years ago, you could say that SNK they're doing better. After they got that salty money, but let's not focus on that.
No, actually, nope. It seems like I did not watch any movies in the month of October, but I did watch Alien Romulus in September.
Oh, dude, that makes you and the rest of my family who's seen the movie. I missed out on watching that movie.
You still haven't?
Damn. It's a good thing I don't call myself an Alien fan, or else I'll be the most fakest of fakest fans. AKA Persona fans, I've come to learn.
I see.
Yeah. Apparently on social media, there are tons of Persona fans who didn't know the game had a bad ending.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, speaking of Persona, this is a humble reminder for those that use Humble Bundle. Their current choices for November are Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, Persona 4 Golden, and a bunch of other games.
Nice endorsement of those other games.
I'm sorry, but the other ones out of okay, fine, I'll go.
Nah, it's fine. I'm joking.
No. There's Lamplighter League, Cassette Beasts, The Bookwalker, Thief of Tales, Karma Zoo, Hexarchy, and Garden Life. A cozy simulator.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, good. Okay,
I think we're missing one more road, but that comes in later.
That's fine. The main point is you got a Warhammer game, for those people who are into that. And you got Persona.
If you don't have Persona, you can get it now.
Yep. Dubbed the best PS2 game of all time by a bald-headed ginger from Canada.
Oh, I already have Persona 4 Golden.
Johnny says, look, or actually, alternatively, no, Persona 4 Golden is not the best game on PS2. Not even it's the best game on the Vita, because that's when it came out on the Vita.
I forgot about the Vita. Damn.
Everyone forgets the Vita. Johnny says, "Look, we like the idea of playing Persona. The contemplation of playing the game. What kind of man actually plays the games they claim to like?" I know, right? But back on point. Yeah, I'll see Alien Romulus. I will take a day to watch it and be in the zeitgeist. I was spoiled on the big stuff that was revealed, but the story, it should be good, not based on spoilers, but based if it's actually a good story. So there's still much about the movie that I don't know about, or I can't really envision how it plays out, even if described. So I'll still watch it one day. But did you like it?
It was actually a pretty fun movie. I really I'm not the biggest Aliens fan. I've heard of the IP and I played the games and all that stuff. I find that and the Predator cool. For Alien Romulus, it gave me back a feeling where I never knew I had, where I was like, man, I really do like this retro futuristic look. Where
yes.
they have CRT TVs or monitors
and dials and buttons, the 70s future, vision of the future.
Yeah.
I
really like that aesthetic.
It's always fun to go back to old sci-fi and see what is considered like new technology, and how a lot of it is just a upgrade of what is their current technology. I think the funniest one not because the scene itself is funny, but just the idea was like back in the first Men in Black, which came out in the late 90s. There's a scene where Agent K is showing off all this technology that was created thanks to a whole bunch of alien tech coming onto Earth. And he shows like a mini CD, basically like a GameCube disc. And while he is right that mini CDs, did exist, they didn't become the new standard. It wasn't all of a sudden people were throwing away their old CDs to get mini CDs, as he was implied in that movie. I think the only pieces of technology that uses very small disc is the GameCube and the PSP.
Yep.
The which has the funniest name for a format, the UMD. Which, do you remember what that stands for?
Universal mounting device.
Universal Media Disc.
Dang.
Sony was betting that was going to be the universal format of all physical media on the PSP. Oh,
Damn,
man.
they were wrong. We just got rid of CDs altogether, and now we don't own anything.
Exactly, and I had to explain to a Zoomer today that yes, when I was young, I used to watch movies on DVD.
You can own a copy of Bible Black on UMD.
Now does that have to be imported, or is it the English translation? Because I don't know if the PSP has what's that thing? Not lock. It may have region lock. We may not be able to play Bible Black if it's region locked.
Oh yeah.
The real question is Bible Black streaming on Crunchyroll? The HD version?
Let's find out.
I'm
looking it up.
I doubt it. Oh, speaking of Crunchyroll, there was a news story. I don't know if this is gonna affect them at all, but a former voice actor who used to work for Crunchyroll, he came out on X and shared that Crunchyroll has been opening other people's mail for the past 5 years.
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet.
And I love like the headline of that story: Crunchyroll committing federal felonies for the past decade. And I say this all sincerity. I hope this becomes a domino effect of Crunchyroll finally coming down as a service, because they need to be destroyed. And if this can lead to somehow they haven't been paying their taxes, that's even better, because that's a guarantee that they will be destroyed.
Ironic how Crunchyroll got to this situation, and then, oh, not ironic, but just like, it's an interesting thing because they were originally a pirating site.
Gellon says it best: Crunchyroll ain't shit and ever been shit. The only thing Crunchyroll was good for was introducing to me to the wide world of old school anime, and that's it. That's all the praise I can give it. It had its time where you can actually give and argue why you should use it, but now, no sir, get rid of it, destroy it. Oh, also, I meant to ask that later, but so Alien and Romulus is the only new movie you've seen since our vacation and since October, correct?
Yes.
Well, good thing we're in a similar territory, because I've also only seen one new movie in all that time period. At least, one brand new movie. And of course, I'm talking about Venom: The Last Dance, which I share my thoughts on X. I gotta get back in my letterbox, because that was fun for a bit using letterbox. I go back to using that again. Go back and pretend to be a film bro. Because since there was a point in time, I don't know if everyone knows this, there was a point in time where I was considering actually learning how to be a film director. Corny as that sounds. But alas,
I do remember that time.
But alas, life has given me a different pair of lemons to deal with. Any case, I saw Venom: The Last Dance, and to reiterate what I said on X, I enjoyed it. and that Venom is stands will stand as a very consistent, entertaining trilogy of movies. Take for that what you will. You don't have to like those movies, but you cannot deny that they are consistent in their quality. Though I will say that the action scenes in Venom: The Last Dance are better than the first two movies. They weren't as confusing and as a visual mess as the first film, and they were more interesting than what was shown in the second film. And plus, I just gotta love the fact that Tom Hardy, the actor who plays both Eddie Brock and the symbiote, I gotta appreciate the fact that he is I think he and the director are the only reasons, aside from the money, are why these movies are the way they are, because he has both. Because Tom Hardy, he has producing credits for all three movies. He has writing credits for the second movie and this one, and of course, he's the lead actor. So that tells me that Mr. Tom Hardy, he can literally do bigger, better projects, but he loves these Venom movies so much that he's willing to finance them, star in them, and even like help write the screenplay. That's how much he likes these movies, or he likes doing these movies, and I don't blame him, because I can tell that he's just having fun with them. Despite the fact that in the third movie he legitimately looks like he's on the verge of death, that the entire film he is having like a blast making these movies. And also, in related news to Venom, reportedly Sony are gonna be making an Agent Venom movie. So, that's a thing. Agent Venom was a thing. You remember Agent Venom, right, Jack? You were there, right?
Nope, never.
Of course. See, just like a true fan, like a true fan. So, they'll probably change a lot for the movie. But Jack, the only thing you need to know about Agent Venom is that, there was a point of time in which Eddie Brock did separate from the symbiote, and the symbiote ended up being captured and used on, of all people, Flash Thompson, aka Peter Parker's high school bully. And so Flash Thompson, he became one of the more major bearers of the symbiote as he went around doing black op missions as Agent Venom. So pretty much imagine a super soldier with the symbiote.
Huh.
And he has his own fan base. The people did enjoy when he was around in the comics. Surprisingly, Marvel has not tried to bring him back since Flash Thompson died back in Amazing Spider-Man number 800, which was a few years ago. No, that was back in 2018. 2018. Damn, that's more than a few years ago. Good lord.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. Any case, and so far, Flash Thompson is still dead. So there is no Agent Venom, at least the original, ain't coming back anytime soon. But what the movies are gonna do, who knows? All I do know is that I hope Tom Hardy comes back and we have some goofy fun. Like, honestly, I'm not looking for any type of actually good movies from Sony. As long as they're entertaining and goofy and you can enjoy it a little bit ironically, but also a little bit unironically, that's all I ask. That's all I ask. Because I'm starting to like have a new mindset, Jack, where like not every movie has to be some award-winning screenplay with the best acting and best cinematography. So it's just got to be entertaining and you got to have fun with what it is, which is schlock, and schlock is fun, just like the Velocipaster, right, Jack?
Yes. The only reason why I brought up the Velocipaster again out of the blue was just because so there was gonna be a movie that I'm planning to see with my girlfriend. It's the red one. You know, that's the movie's name. It's basically
Oh, that's right.
it.
The new this year's action Santa movie. Not confused with
Yeah,
the other years we had action Santa movies for some reason.
I find the premise super ridiculous, very dumb, and I've always like bashed on it. And my when I told my girlfriend like, hey, it's been a while since we went out to watch a movie in the theaters. Let's go ahead and watch the red ones. And she's like, I thought you hated that movie. I'm like, no, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I just find it ridiculous. And she's like, well,
Uh,
you don't have to watch it with me if you don't want to. I'm like, I I'm like, honey, I watched Velocipaster, this masterpiece, and I show her the poster, the beautiful poster that I put on that I put on my ex, and then after that, I'm like, and these were the special effects, and I show the freaking semi like the very bad dinosaur model fighting ninjas. I'm like, I watched this movie 3 times. And she's like, why? Well, once by myself, another time with my best friend Hack, and another time with some other friends that didn't believe me it was a real movie. So I'm now showing it to you.
I think the best thing that someone I heard someone say about the red one is
Mm-hmm.
why is a Netflix movie go in theaters? And also yet again has to remind us that yes, the film Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead does exist, and you can watch it right now on Tubi, which is another sponsor. I would love to be. Come on, SNK, come on, Tubi. I want those. Give me that sponsor money. I would gladly shield for those two companies, I should say. Oh man. So that's it for that movie. In any case, I enjoy Venom: The Last Dance for what it is. If you hated the first movie or you especially hated the second one, you ain't gonna love the third one. Ain't gonna win you over. But if you like mindless entertainment, as I come to it hit me, and only Ghetto will understand this. Ghetto, the Venom trilogy, they are peak FX movies. You understand? Okay, they are the perfect movies to watch when back when when the majority of people used to watch cable TV. You flip over to FX, and after you watch an episode of Archer, that's when you watch Venom right on TV. Those movies are perfect for that, as the best way to describe it. They're FX movies with a slightly bigger budget. So that's all for movies. This one will keep it also very short. You wouldn't remember a chance to have read anything. Would you, Jack?
Read anything right now, like a book?
Like not right now, but like in the past 2 months.
Actually, surprisingly, yeah. I've been trying to read up on this fan story for ReZero, where all the characters for ReZero, they just end up like forced into a movie theater, and they're watching everything that happened to the main character. For those that don't know, ReZero basically is very gruesome to just one character, or all of them, but most of the bad things happen to the one main character because he's literally just a dude in a world of magic.
And for those
So he's just a normal person,
and for
and he
those,
dies over and over.
yeah, basically it's anime Groundhog's Day, but set in a fantasy setting.
Yeah, so I've been reading up on that, and it's pretty well written, mostly because the person went back and like did everything over again, from what I heard.
And you
Other
said,
than that,
and,
some web comics.
and you said this is this is basically fan fiction. You said,
Yeah, it's non-canon.
ah,
It's basically just the guy going like, "All right, this random big bad evil guy just put all the main cast, watch what happened to them.
Gotcha. All right. Well, as the comic reader, of course, I have been reading comics, and I have been trying to get ahead, trying to stay current as the absolute books are coming out. Which, Jack, are you aware at the very least of Absolute Batman?
Yes, yeah. Actually, I did see one. I think it was like a video about like the first issue, and I
Yes.
forgot to keep up.
Yeah, there's only one issue has come out. Issue 2 hasn't even been out yet. So
yeah, I have kept up on that one.
yep. So I read Absolute Batman, and I'm actually planning to do a video on the Trinity. So Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, and Absolute Superman. Which actually, as of this recording or this live stream, I should say, Absolute Superman comes out tomorrow. So I'm gonna be getting that book, and I'll be making a video in the future, just kind of share my thoughts on these new versions of this new DC universe that's being set up for are these familiar characters. And as for Absolute Batman, I'll say more complete full thoughts when that video comes out, but all you need to know is that I very much enjoyed the book. I read it twice, and I love the fact that, number one, the first issues from Alfred's perspective, who's not Bruce Wayne's butler, but he's an assassin. An assassin, I say, like a John Wick type assassin. And as well, there's a lot of unique twists that are done within the Batman's origins, which I am intrigued to see how that plays out. And as for Batman, Bruce Wayne himself, I do love that he is basically that Bruce Wayne looks like an early JoJo character, and that he has a bodybuilder's body, of like a seasoned bodybuilder's body, but he's only 24.
He basically has that Zangief body.
No, not Zangief. No, not Zangief. It's early JoJo. Early JoJo, like Jonathan, like part 1 and part 2 and bits of part 3.
But man, as much as I ragged on that logo, it's kind of grown on me, especially for what the reason is.
Oh yeah. I love that. I do love that the creative team, Scott Snyder, and I'm blanking on the artist, but they decide that every aspect of Batman's outfit is a weapon of some kind. I love that.
Man, you don't got any more batterings. Oh yeah.
Like the cow with the ears. That's like, I also do enjoy that because it is inherently silly, but then you gotta remember, this is comic books. This is the stuff Batman is supposed to be doing. Of course, he would have batterings hidden in plain sight just in case he needs to throw some out. And they would be on top of his head. Of course. Like, why not? How is that sillier than a utility belt that has everything? So I very much enjoying it. I have not read Wonder Woman or Superman, which those will. I will read them and we'll have thoughts on them. So far, I've heard a little bit of mixed opinions on Wonder Woman, and of course, Superman comes out tomorrow. So, I have high hopes for that. But because I know I have a big Superman bias, I'm going to try to read that book for what it is, and not try to make any unfair comparisons to the classic Superman. So, aside from Absolute Batman, of course, I have been reading a lot of other comics during the past 2 months. Of course, Ultimate Spider-Man, which, I got videos describing my thoughts on those. I won't go into details here. Other comic series I've been reading, been trying to catch up on Immortal Thor. I'm looking through kind of a little pile right now. I just finished, actually, Jack. I just finished a Punisher / Nick Fury comic that just concluded this month, called Get Fury. It's a story about Frank Castle, Punisher, but this is back during his Nam days, like literally Vietnam. And this is him. He gets a mission to rescue Nick Fury from the Viet Cong.
Huh.
Which and it's I will say that right now, it is a very brutal comic. Oh, it is very brutal. You know, it's wartime. It's set in the Vietnam War, so you know a lot of questionable things are done in the story. And
do people get uh stuck on traps? I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, that happens in issue 1. Issue
First
1
panel.
Yep. Yeah, we get people get it's caught in the traps, shot down, tortured. While they don't show it, but there is a lot of implication of SA. It is not a book for the weak-hearted. And it is, as Ghetto is hinting at, it is written by Garth Ennis, who, for those who don't know, Garth Ennis is responsible for a lot of the more popular Punisher stories to come out of Marvel, especially his Punisher Max series back in the 2000s. But actually, Jack, you actually know him for something more that he's actually become recently more famous for, as Garth Ennis is he is the writer of the original comic of The Boys.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. And so basically, it's the creator of The Boys taking writing a Vietnam era war story starring Nick Fury and the Punisher. So, you know, if you enjoy for what The Boys is, and you want something that's actually has better writing, because I could tell you this for free, Jack, Garth Ennis, as much he has made a career out of making comics, he sincerely hates superhero comics. So when you watch The Boys, you know, that is not coming from, he's not satirizing just to satirize. He legit hates the genre.
Damn, I could see that just from clips. I've never really, funny enough, I've never actually watched the show. I've been trying to get around to it, but I don't know. No,
good. Leave it at that. Superman is his only exception. Superman is his only exception, and I will say Garth Ennis. He's also part of that special club of comic book writers, in that they're both very cynical and very UK. I think Garth Ennis is Irish, I want to say. Not English, he's Irish. But he comes from that era where a whole bunch of UK comic writers came over to Marvel and DC and just wrote the most cynical of stories you've ever seen. Some of them really good. Some of them belong in that era. And he's part of that crew. But the thing is, he works better when he's not writing capes. And Garth Ennis' strong suit is that when he writes war stories. And yet Fury, of many things, though it stars Marvel characters, it is a bleak war story at its heart, and that's how his story is treated. So if you guys ever go to the comic shop and you see the trade paperback for Get Fury, I would recommend it if you're looking for if you're looking for a good war story, something that blurs a line of morality, where really the only true good guy is the Punisher, and that should say a lot. When Frank Castle is the only true guy who you could say he's good, despite the fact that everyone around him have dubious morality at best, especially Nick Fury. Any case, so yeah, I've been reading that for the past 6 months, and it's finished, and I very much enjoyed it. And it's a shame that it's one of those comics that were kind of flying under the radar, Jack. So it's not been heavily promoted. Then again, I don't know how you're gonna promote a very violent war comic. You can't be saying, "Hey, it's like, here's these Spider-Man toys," and then read this war comic that's filled with murder and SA. I don't know how you can market that, but hey, at least Marvel did it, and so I at least appreciate that they made those books. Hopefully, Garth Ennis gets to do another one. And to close it off, I'll do the book I do want to highlight, and it's potentially I may do a video about it in the future. But this one's an indie book from Image, so it's not from Marvel or DC, and it's called "Falling in Love on the Pathway to Hell." And this one's very intriguing. So for the comic folks out there, this story is written by Gary Dugan. I mainly know him as a Marvel writer. He's mainly written on X-Men books, but I'm not very familiar with his indie work. And with this story, which we'll just shorten it to falling in love, what it is that it is, I would say it could be a great a love letter of sorts to old time heroes. What I mean by that is that Johnny's what type of anime title as book is that? Well, I'll explain. So what it is that the book's premise is that there are these different people who come from violent lives, that they end up on this strange mystical island where they need to survive. And in this book, we have two main protagonists. You have a person who comes from the old west, like the proper west, and he's like this rugged gunman trying to escape the law. Well, he ends up in this mysterious island, along with, on the other side of the world is this, I want to say, she's not a Ronin, she's not a samurai, but she is a skilled warrior who was trained to kill samurai. This woman from Japan who ends up in the same situation on this island. And so the book follows these two protagonists who don't know anything about each other, live violent lives in the past, and they're given this new chance of life on this mysterious island, as they explore and try to solve the mystery and potentially try to find a way to get out of there. And as they go through this island, they meet these other basically warriors from all over the world. The warriors from India, from Vikings, conquistadors, of other bandits and smugglers and pirates, just any type of historical, like, thief, warrior, or killer. They're there at the island, and pretty much every one of them, they have to fight to survive, because every night when the sun goes down, from a waterfall, all these they look like zombies, but just monsters, just put it that way. These monsters come out to try to kill these warriors, and so night after night they fight for their lives to kill these monsters so they can survive another day. Now, of course, besides it being a very gruesome, and at times it got pretty severe of how far the comic can go. There was, in one issue, I believe issue 3, where you see our main character, the gunman character, where because he didn't want to follow the rest of the warriors and join their group, they were gonna try to persuade him by attempting to kill him, and if he lived and survived that, they were going to SA him brutally.
Mm-hmm.
And so, very violent book. And so the whole thing of the book, besides just being pretty violent and a book of survival, is that you have our two protagonists, the Japanese warrior and the gunman, who despite coming from different worlds, they start forming a bond as they feel they're the only ones they can trust each other. And as the story progresses, we see of how that relationship will form as they go on this journey to get out of this island. So far, it's only issue 4, so it's still pretty early in the story. I don't know where it could be heading, But for what I read so far and from the art, I am very much enjoying what I have been reading. So, and I'll cut right there as far as the what I've been reading, because now I want to get to a pretty big part. So, uh, Jack, I want to ask, aside
Hmm.
from what you have streamed, what games have you been playing?
So let's see. Aside from what I've been streaming, I have been playing
Oh,
the
hold on, keep that
uh
thought, Johnny. I know. I just realized I recommended two comic series that you FSA. To keep things diverse, as you were saying, Immortal Thor. That one's pretty good. No essay on that one. All right, go on.
of course, y'all have been seeing me play Sparking Zero. Actually, wait, have I? I only played it once on stream, and then after that, I haven't. But
Been
I've still been playing Sparking.
grading offline. Have you unlocked all the characters yet?
Not yet. Uh, I'm still trying to do all the story modes.
Uh,
The
how far are you in the like doing the character episodes?
I haven't touched it in a while because of the amount of other games I have to play, mostly for like uh for streaming, which where I ended up playing the Callisto Protocol, which
I
I
know.
really want to love.
Yeah, you really wanted to like that game.
Like it's not that it's a bad game. It's a decent game. It's pretty decent. The only thing is that it tried I would say it tried too hard to imitate Dead Space, but it just kind of dropped the ball. Mostly, I think it's because of the way how combat is worked with this one compared to Dead Space. Dead Space, yeah, sure, you can try to punch out a necromorph, but that's not gonna get you far,
No,
especially if
no.
you have a bunch of them on you. In this game, it felt like there will be 10 of them around you, and then only one of them will come up to you and say, "All right, we're fighting." You and that single zombie thing, whatever it's called, are fighting while everyone else is kind of looking at you. Unless if they're like a ranged unit. But other than that, there was no sense of dread that I felt from Dead Space. But even then, I mean, the game itself was pretty fun for what it is. I got it. It's definitely one of those games where you get it on sale. Don't get it full price at all.
No,
I don't like.
pay full price. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I mean, if you want to, go ahead, but then you're gonna have to pay full price for that DLC for the real ending. Oof, they learned that one from EA.
Oh, that reminds me. I want to I'll keep it short. Not to go back to movies, but I actually got to see one of the Dead Space animated movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a Dead Space Downfall. I saw it on Tubi with a friend, and
Let's see.
it's from 2008, and it's a pretty kind of meh movie, to be perfectly honest.
Ah, yeah, that one.
With with an animation style, I kid you not, that is very 2000s. So it's gonna
Yeah,
which when I say that, I will not style, I mean design, because when you look it up, I kid you not, all the character designs look like they belong on the 2003 Ninja Turtle show. And
yeah,
it kind of threw me off,
yeah,
for a bit, because I forgot that there was a time when shows meant for an older audience didn't always try to emulate anime aesthetics. And so to go back to a time where that wasn't a thing, it kind of threw me off for a bit second there. Fast
yeah.
for
You just
As for actually the actual movie, and listen, I'll keep this short. Like I said, I think it was pretty meh with some neat moments. I think the only bizarre thing about it is that movie literally takes place right before Isaac Clarke lands on the Ishimura.
Yeah, yeah, it was kind of like a prequel.
No, like no, Jack. It's not. It is a prequel. No, I'm saying the movie literally ends with after the last survivor like shoots out a bunch of necromorphs that are in the hangar bay. Like seconds after that happens, and she sacrifices herself with the last message. The little spaceship pod that Isaac Clarke in immediately lands on the Ishimura.
Yeah, I remember the movie. It's pretty one. It's like one of those like, oh, really? Are you serious?
Like I
Type of
thought,
moments.
I'd have thought like maybe the Clark's pod, little space pod, came in like hours later or days, maybe weeks, not like 30 seconds later after the events of that movie,
Yep.
which is funny because like if you played Dead Space and the remake, a lot of doesn't like the game kind of imply that a lot of the infestation and the transformation took place within a matter of at least days.
Uh, not really. The way the infestation takes place. Well,
Or at least
it
or
happened fairly quickly, actually, because of the fact that it was, unless if you're counting the days where people were slowly going crazy.
I'll say with that, I'll start with that because the movie presents that they were getting crazy as soon as they put the what's that obelisk thing called again?
The marker.
As soon as like the marker was in the Ishimura, that's when everyone started going crazy.
Yeah,
That's how
so
that movie presented it as.
basically, yeah, that's what happens. If you're talking about the planet itself, then yeah, it took days because they were taking the marker out from the planet, and also a lot of things were happening on that planet that none of the miners actually knew about until the marker was literally in range to mess with their heads. Because I mean, the closer you are to the marker, the faster you kind of turn.
I see. Although the real question is, Jack, going back to
Mhm.
games, how does where does Dead Space Extraction fit into this?
Yeah.
which
That is one
which
game I have not played, and it's kind of hard to play because it's. I
well
don't see it anywhere.
well good for you because I played it. It's the only Dead Space game I've played from beginning to end. A rail shooter that was on the Wii. Although apparently I'm also reading it's also on PS3. You just gotta have the PlayStation Move to play it.
Also, wasn't that the main character that died in two, like literally in the beginning?
Uh, maybe I don't remember much. All I know is that by the end of that movie, movie at the end of Dead Space Extraction, when I was in the boss fight, I was I was right outside the spaceship in the spacesuit, fighting a giant tentacle monster.
Yep, Dead Space.
Yeah, which
Also, speaking of that, speaking of the monsters,
of tentacle
the
monsters.
one, well, there was okay, there was some tentacle monsters in the Callisto Protocol, but it was not even to the point where you count them as tentacle monsters. I did not like the design of those characters in Callisto Protocol, mostly because they were so repetitive. And like, don't get me wrong, if you think about it, every necromorph does the same thing except for like a gimmick. The base ones, they're just people that have been turned
They're ba-
fairly recently.
they're based.
The yeah, and the I guess the more like true form necromorphs, those take a lot longer to shoot through because they're closer to the marker. Or worse, the tweakers, which are the ones that were the freaking miners that died with their suit on. So now they're super fast and you're super slow. But the Callisto Protocol, it's like, all right, you got the one that punches, you got the one that sometimes spits stuff, and you got the regenerator from Resident Evil, and some that blow up. Oh, and a leech. And the 99% of the times you only fight the ones that punch, with a few of the ones that spit up acid sprinkled in. Of course, there's some other ones like ones that go invisible, but
But for the
literally it just
but
feels like the same fight.
so getting all of that. I'm sorry, I wasn't commenting. So I'm getting all that pretty much for a majority of the game. You're fighting the same enemy.
It just feels the same because of the way, like, the more I list off the enemies, they just feel the same because you do the same things to counter them. You
I see.
dodge.
I
the the,
see.
the dodge mechanic is cool for like for a few minutes, and then after that you're like, okay, I'm here fighting 10 of them. Let's go. All right, who's the first one to come at me? All right, dodge, dodge, dodge,
Oh,
smack, 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 dodge, 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 smack, smack, smack.
dodge, smack, smack, smack. Dodge.
Like it's just
Sounds
it's
like a
a
song.
repetitive combat.
I see, I see. So it really was that at a certain point, the game didn't offer any true any true challenge after a certain point. Once you kind of figured out how to deal with every enemy.
And also the okay, I am not going to blame the game for this because it
No.
was my own decision.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm putting this out there just so people could see my perspective.
All right.
This game is supposed to be a survival horror, correct? Where you have the horror elements and then you have that survival element of keeping up with your resources, making sure you have something so you can combat the enemy.
Right.
Uh there were a few points where it felt like, yeah, I'm finally getting into that survival horror feel. And then as soon as like a few levels in, immediately I just get bombarded with a bunch of ammo that I can use for whatever things I want. So, and also you know how in Dead Space you have that little, I forgot what it's actually called right now, but where you can actually like slow down uh a specific enemy. Do
Mm,
you kind of remember it?
no, no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't know. I would not know. I don't know I don't know the Dead Space game like you do.
Okay, so in Dead Space, there you end up getting some type of, it's a power in the suit where basically you can point it at someone and you slow them or whatever object down. Kind of think of it, and also that same thing can be able to manipulate items. They can grab items from the floor and you can like throw them quickly at someone or pull an item closer to you. So it's like kind of like telekinesis. It's just kinesis stuff. You have that same thing in the Callisto Protocol, minus you slowing down enemies. You can't do that, but you
Mm.
can grab enemies with that thing. And as far as I knew, there was no weight limit, unless if it's a boss.
I see.
So
I see.
basically, every single enemy, this is what I did. Like, oh, you're supposed to be a scary enemy that's like goes invisible. All right. As soon as you pop out of your invisibility, I basically force choke you, let go, do a friggin' like I swing my melee attack like as if I'm trying to hit a baseball, grab you again, choke you, drop you, do it again, rinse and repeat. And it took that horror aspect out for me because literally it just became me bullying one specific enemy over and over again. Either that
Mm.
or I could just go, uh, I don't really feel like fighting right now. I don't have any resources. Grab the enemy and just chuck them off the cliff.
Oh man, it sounds like at a certain point, the game really did just become kind of boring.
It's like it's not that I'm making it sound boring, but it's just like you can cheese it. Basically,
Yeah,
there was a section where I had to stand. You know how there's in survival horror games, there's a section of the game where it's like, all right, stand guard for this to happen until this arrives or something like that.
yeah.
Basically, I had to do that. I had to wait for a ladder, or not a ladder, a bridge to be kind of set up for me to walk across. While I'm doing that, I noticed that there's a pool of water that I can't access. So I was like, all right, let me just put my back against that railing. I hear monsters, and as soon as I see them, I force choke them and then throw them in the water and they die.
Maybe you're just too good at video games. Maybe you gotta play harder stuff. I don't know.
So like, I'm not gonna fault the game for me cheesing it because I am literally like, if I'm gonna say the game's experience is ruined, that's because of my own decisions.
But yeah, but
I,
but you can't really not blame the
mhm.
game. You can't really not blame the game for that um because if the game gives the player the basically the guarantee win button or win mechanic to cakewalk the game, that's on the game for not having a good design in the first place.
That is true, but also like the I guess the small thing you can say that you lose is, oh, but if you don't end up killing the enemies how you normally do, you end up losing resources, which would have been fine. Like, would have been a nice trade off if the resources weren't plentiful in certain areas.
I see. I see. Well, hey, at the very least, you beat the game, and even though it was not as good of experience as you hoped it would be, you beat it. You played through it, and you know that's more than what people say. The majority of people who play video games.
And
And
like I guess like the final thing I could say is like it's not a bad game, but it ain't a great game. I would say it's like around a 6, 7, somewhere around there. It's enjoyable for what it is,
it
but
and it is
mhm.
also strikingly different from my whole survivor horror experience with the original
Yeah,
Resident
especially
Evil.
I guess you could say as veterans of the survival horror genre, where you and me we kind of know, all right, we're having to fight this boss. Oh no, I don't have that much health. Oh no, I ran out of green herbs. Oh no, I don't have ammo. We kind of make do with what we do, so that's why I was like, all right, well, I don't know how often I'll get ammo, so let me just save ammo and chuck these things off the cliff.
Or in my case, just run, run away to the point that was literally like having to having to hug the walls because I know certain of the monsters have a their animation is gonna do this. It's gonna hit me to my left. So if I hug the wall to my right, I can able to walk by them. Got to that point, and I won't go too well. Yeah, you pretty much say everything you want to say about Callisto Protocol. Is that or you got anything else to say?
Oh, actually, I think one thing, mostly in the perspective of like game deving,
Mm-hmm.
maybe if they instead, so the weird thing is with the dodge mechanic, you think that it's has a trick to it, but no, it's literally just move your stick left or right. It doesn't matter what positioning their arm is. You just move it left or right. So you
So
can do two lefts, and even if they're using their left hand to attack or their right hand to attack you, you still dodge the attack.
okay,
So I'm
so
here thinking,
I
what
see.
if if they really wanted to keep that dodge mechanic, make it to where you have to kind of not memorize, but really make sure you keep an eye on what arm they're using. That way you can be able to dodge back and forth depending on the thing. And then from there you can be able to increase the health pool of the character because there is going to be more difficulty from that. And whenever I was playing the game, getting hit like four or five times, I was basically dead. So you can increase the health pool just a bit and make it to where It's an actual skill to make sure these players dodge left or right depending on what the monster is using, what arm they're using.
I guarantee you that was probably the intention early in development when they got that mechanic working, but maybe due to time or they couldn't find a way to implement to or they couldn't figure out the kinks, so to speak, of how to implement it. So as a quick solution is like, okay, just have the player have iframes every time they do a dodge. It's one of those
Or I
like
could be wrong.
it's like
Like I could be wrong. They might have tested it and said, yeah, this is not gonna work, and they just said, all right, we don't have time to fix this. Let's just make it universal.
It's possible. Yeah, it's very possible. It is very possible. At the very least, I would say that you know the devs who made Callisto Protocol, you know, they deserve another shot of the horror genre because maybe it's that second game is probably gonna be that's the one, that's the one that sells it, because the same thing with Resident Evil. As much as that first game is a classic, there are some issues with that game. There are some issues of that game, and that's why if you ask old school RE fans, which one's the better one, they straight up tell you it's 2.
Actually, I think I realized one thing I didn't like, and it was like the story writing. Basically, here's the premise.
Right.
You start off, your character is just a cargo guy. He just delivers things. The cargo ship you're on gets raided by these prisoners. You're freaking out. You managed to get rid of these prisoners at the cost of your ship crashing and your other guy, your co-pilot, dying. You get put into prison because the warden said so.
Okay.
Yeah, the warden said so. You get put into prison, and then basically my only thought in my whole mind was, I hate that woman that made me get here in the first place. Because she was the cause that made me go and land on that planet. And then from there, we end up getting help by another prisoner. Which then, when the prisoner says, "Oh yeah, we need a third person," you find out that the third person is that woman. And even though the other guy didn't know anything, he's like, "I didn't know it was gonna be this person that you hated." But the woman's like, "Oh yeah, don't trust that prisoner dude that's right next to you." I'm like, "Okay, so is this gonna be a story where, yeah, we're about to get out, and then at the last second or somewhere in the climax, the one that was helping you betrays you somehow because he's too scared for his own life."
Betrayal.
No, never happened.
Oh wow! So they don't even do like an obvious plot twist.
Nope. The guy instead, he dies. He dies in the most dumbest way, or not dumbest, but like in the most saddest way, where he basically, both of you end up outside of in the planet's surface, and he freezes to death / stops breathing because of damage to his suit.
I see.
So whatever reasonings you could have had to probably hate the guy that was helping you is gone. All you know from him is that he's been so helpful to you, like an integral part of your team. Meanwhile, the other woman, I still hate because she has done nothing but ridicule you for everything, even though you're like, what? You caused me to be here.
That reminds me of that whole thing in the story at RE7. I still remember. I recall that, like, at that point, if you remember RE7, you get when you either rescue your wife or Zoe. And I still remember, when I played that game for the first time, I reached that part. My dad was with me, and both of us, I was thinking of a decision, and both of us agreed rescue Zoe, because throughout the entire game, Zoe is like been the only helping hand throughout this entire journey in trying to survive the Bakers. While and we're like, well, and our wife is long gone. Whatever's got to her has got to her, and she attempted to kill us many times, or at least that prior time. We don't know what's going on with her and all the lies and deceit. And then the game punishes you, and the game punishes you with the bad ending at the end for rescuing the wrong girl. Even though the fact she was actually the most helpful out of all the characters in that game.
Yeah, and what's worse is this girl is pointing a shotgun straight at us, saying, "I told you shouldn't have listened to him." Like, what do you mean? What do you mean I shouldn't have listened to him? He died.
No,
and you saying that it's my fault that he died? Okay.
You shouldn't have listened. It's like, don't you trust me as I aim my gun at you?
And what's worse is I talked to a friend and he's like saying it's not forced, but for me it was kind of forced. There was some kind of like small tension of like those two liking each other in the end.
Okay.
Well, I'm like, oh, come on, why? There is no reason for you to even have any sort of mutual respect. There literally is no reason.
Should be mutual disrespect.
Like, sure, eventually you find out the plot twist where, it's not even a plot twist. It was more like your character repressed memory. I don't know. It didn't really explain this part. It's like it repressed memories of you knowing what the cargo is you had and saying none of our business.
Well, you know what? I think we play enough horror games, so I think it's probably good to move along from the horror stuff, because actually there's something I do want to share with you, a game that I have been playing on the side. Also, Johnny, I think it's only 7 that's had an alternate ending or alternate endings, and you know, there's one which I infamously showed in my live stream, and I think there's 2, and the old games have it, but like 4 through 6, they don't really have that stuff. So they did proper endings for a while, and I think 8, or as it's called, what's RE8 called again? Hold on.
Village.
Or a village. Village. That's a proper single ending. So, you know, they do have it. Just a few games that don't. But the game I want to mention actually that I've been playing on the side. So my last save data, Jack, I have put in about 15 hours into this game. Yeah, and we could be wondering, well, what game could this be? It's taking up so much of my time. Well, Jack, ever heard of a little game called Project Cross Zone?
No.
Okay. Oh, it's gonna be very interesting. Very interesting. You know what? I think the best way to explain it is to kind of actually show it, because I can explain it through what genre it is, but you really got to see for yourself what type of game it actually is in order for you and the audience to understand why I have put in like 15 hours into this game. So let's see. I'm gonna try to find like a trailer. Now, to keep in mind, this game originally came out on the Nintendo 3DS back in 2012, 2011. So it's a old game. But not only that, it's an RPG from Monolith Soft. Monolith Soft, I believe, if I'm correct, they're the guys who are responsible for the Xenoblade games. And here we go. I found a trailer that we could watch that will hopefully give an idea of what the heck I've been playing. So Jack, I'm gonna share with you the link on our sources, so you could take a look, and I'll show it to the we not to watch it together, but I'll show it to our audience so that they either so they can know or remember what the heck this game is. So I'm gonna go and show off the trailer on stream real quick. So this game, Project Cross Zone, it's an RPG by Monolith Soft, but it's also a crossover between Bandai Namco, Sega, and Capcom. And so this whole and it's like various like franchises and IPs. You got Street Fighter, Darkstalkers, Mega Man, Virtua Fighter, Resident Evil. What else? Sakura Wars, Valkyria Chronicles, .hack. You got Resident Evil. You got Dead Rising. I'll try to remember a little more. You got Fighting Vipers. You got Rival Schools. You got Ghosts and Goblins. You got a whole you got Tekken. I forgot you got Tekken. So all of these characters. You got you got Devil May Cry. You got all these characters all in one, all these different parts of one game, and what it is as an RPG. And I say that in the most loosest of terms, Jack, because this is the most brain dead RPG I've ever played. Brain dead. There is little to no strategy in this RPG. Every mission, Jack, is every mission is just defeat all enemies or defeat one specific enemy. That's it.
Hey, that's a simple mission you can follow.
And there's only one mission I played late into the game that gives you a different objective, which was basically defeat this one enemy to unlock a door. That's the only time the game has given me a different mission, but the objective is still the same. It's to defeat enemies. And what it is, you have all these characters paired up together, and you're on these different maps, and you go around being a bad guys from all these different series by doing basically combos. So you saw all those. So if you watched the trailer, you were seeing a whole bunch of these animations of these characters doing their signature moves or abilities. Well, the whole point of the game is that to defeat an opponent, you have to combo each of your attacks and abilities in succession. The more you keep hitting your opponent, the more damage you do or any type of effect until your opponent reaches 0. So the whole strategy of this game, especially when you fight bosses, is to take your characters and pretty much bum rush every enemy so you can get the maximum amount of combo damage within a single turn. And that is the primary strategy. As I said, this is a brain dead RPG with a story. There is a story, and all the story is, oh no, everyone's disappearing. I'm not in my world. What world are we in? Who are you people? Oh, I am so and so, and we are in this world. Well, hello, so and so. I am from another world. We should work together. Rinse and repeat.
Huh.
And
well,
now you're wondering, heck, if I'm describing it in this manner, how come you have 15 hours into this brain dead game?
Tell me you're not stuck on a level because you can't beat a boss.
No. I'm 15 hours in because, and I hope everyone can, understand that. Because not that. I'm in this game because it is a game I can just mind-numbingly play during break time at work. That's the only reason why I'm 15 hours in, because it passes the time at work. And because I remember when the reviews of this game came out, there were people like criticizing of how just of how simple it was and that there was no strategy and that it can get very repetitive of the same mission. And I avoided that for that reason. But then I finally bit the bullet and play it, and I'm playing it during my off time at work, and that's when it hit me. This is how you're supposed to play it. You're literally supposed to play in these short bursts while you're busy doing something else. This ain't a game you put long hours in. No. Like, contrary to how RPGs are made, where you're supposed to put in as much time as you can with every session, this is an RPG where it's like, no, just play a few turns, go do something else, back to work, and then when you're done or you want to take a break, play a few more turns, and then rinse and repeat. That's how you get 15 hours into this game.
Damn. You know, I'm looking at the combat right now, and I could see it.
It's like visual stimulation of just seeing a whole bunch of numbers and character animations and effects going all up at once. And you know, and my monkey brain, I'm like, this is fun.
I bet you it makes you say, man, I'm doing combos I can only dream of that I can do in like Marvel vs. Capcom.
You know what, kind of, it's kind of, because besides your main two characters that you control, if you have two other characters beside you, you can call on them to assist to do extra damage, and you can add a support character to your two units to add in more damage. So at total, literally there can be 5 characters on screen doing damage to one single enemy.
Damn. I can only wish to do that.
Ghetto requests to show the opening animation. All right, because he requested, and it is a cool animation. It is something that if you are into just like Japanese RPGs, Japanese games from these 3 companies, it's, you can geek out. So I'll go find that for you, Jack, so we can watch it. And it's a fun animation.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I think I hear someone calling me.
All right, so while I'll get this up and running for him to play, I just want to share one more time. That don't forget to pick up Metal Slug Tactics on all major consoles and on PC. A actual real RPG with strategy involved. If there's one thing Project Crossover really needed, it was SNK. You can't celebrate all the games, the pillars of the Japanese industry without SNK involved. Well, you know what? Instead of having Kyo and Iori do just their basic bread and butter combos on some pixels in a forgotten 3DS series, why not play the brand new Metal Slug Tactics on your modern console and or PC and enjoy stunning Metal Slug animation with strategy to rival of those of Fire Emblem and any other turn-based strategy game in your heads. Metal Slug Tactics, available now on all major consoles and PC. Anyways, and okay, you're confused with the Namco. Oh wait, yeah. Well, it's funny. I'm more familiar with the actual animation for Project Cross Zone, but the music, I'm familiar with Namco X Capcom because that music actually rocks. And it's a shame that apparently, I believe one of the devs has spoken out that they have lost the music file, the original file for that song. So the only thing we have of his existence is within the game itself, and of course, copies of it online. But the actual original file of that song is lost to time. So that we'll never see a real release of that song. But does that mean can I play willy nilly? Nah, you know what? No. Bandai Namco, they are severe when it comes to copyright. I don't think it's worth it.
All right, it wasn't anything important.
Okay. And also, let's skip the animation. Get requested the wrong one for the wrong game.
Oh.
Oh well. But yeah, I'm pretty much gonna play that game till I'm done with it. Like it literally while I'm during my work hours, and you know, as much as I can see the obvious flaws um and just kind of simpleness of that game, I am very much having fun with it in playing it how I am playing it in these short bursts. It's not, and it is really not a deep game. It really isn't. It's just if you like any of the games from any of these three companies, then you know, like you really like them, like you're a fan, then you can get a kick out of. They probably why they make it such a simple RPG because they want to attract as many casual players who are into all these different properties that some of them are not RPGs to enjoy this game. And hold on, actually, okay, Ghetto still requests we see the opening animation. All right. So we'll go ahead and watch it because Ghetto requested. Jack, I put a link on the sources for the opening, and we can watch it together.
All right, I am ready.
All right, I am getting ready. All right, I am now ready. All right, pressing play in 3, 2, 1, play. So this is the opening that plays every time you boot up the game.
Oh my god, that's such an anime thing. Back to back, staring at the sky.
All of them. All of it is all anime.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. When did he Kamehameha? Is that a grandfather clock?
Maybe.
Oh no, the other side.
There you go. That's the opening of the game. Feels more like like an actual anime opening though. Can't wait to watch this show. Oh man. And I kid you not, Jack. I was watching that. There are still some characters the game haven't introduced that the opening has just spoiled me on. And apparently, I did not know this. Breaking news. Apparently, Bruce Willis is in the game.
Amazing.
How? How is it because Sega made that Die Hard arcade game? Is that why John McClane is in Project Crosso? How does that make any sense? Is it because of that?
You gotta die hard.
Oh, live free or die hard.
He's die harding.
Oh, by the way, that's the reason. Oh my god. So because Sega made a licensed game, somehow they had the get go to be like, yeah, put Bruce Willis next to Ryu, Mega Man, and Dante. Amazing. I do want to, and also, I do want to add that there were some two characters that the animation highlighted, like a man and a woman character. They're the OCs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you you have your OCs with your OC villains and their OC world, and so it's all these other characters from these established franchises coming in to help the OCs beat their OC villain. That's the premise. And also, you know what? Depending on how I feel after I beat the game, I might jump and play Project Cross Zone 2, which is more of the same. They just added more characters. And I do know that in Project Cross Zone 2, that game gets brought up a little bit because a lot of people share a lot of the funny stuff that happens in that game, mostly because Project Cross Zone 2 adds in Yakuza characters. They add in a literal Sega mascot, Segata Sanchiro. He was literally a marketing character Sega made for the Sega Saturn back in the 90s, and they put him in the game.
Oh, that's how he looks like.
Yeah, Segata Sanshiro. He defending Sega's honor and make sure that you buy a Sega Saturn.
I don't know why. I think he's kind of cool.
Oh, he is. He's ridiculously cool.
Oh my god, they made him into a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
And the best part is that I think a few years ago, Sega did a marketing stunt where they passed on the Segata heritage to his son, who was telling people to play Sega games, and he owns I think a Sega. What was it? A Sega Nomad, like one of Sega's portable consoles that he uses. I think it was a Game Gear. So like the legacy continues. Oh man. So yeah, it's a silly, fun, crazy game with a lot of fan service moments, and you just gotta appreciate for what it is. And I am enjoying it quite a lot. Just playing it at work and turning the volume down so I don't draw attention.
and the teachers will get mad at you.
No, it'd be more like my coworkers would be like they'll be first asking me, why are you holding that? As it point to my bright orange 3DS. Because
I took it from a kid.
I took it from one of the students. To explain that to them, and as well, like Jack, I could trust you to understand what the appeal of this game. Imagine trying to explain this game to a normie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What would be the best way for me to explain it to them?
It's I think the best way to how would you explain this? It's
yeah, like how would you?
The only one I can think is maybe referencing a South Park episode, but everyone has seen the South Park episode. Okay.
Oh, no.
I think.
How about this?
What?
Okay. I'll be asking them because nowadays it's actually the norm. So, you know how there's Into the Spider-Verse, where
Yeah.
all these different characters from different universes come in. Think of that, and we have to fight a big bad evil guy.
You know what? That's perfect. So for normal, is like it's the Spider-Verse for Japanese weebs.
Yeah.
and for people who are kind of in the know, Get Up also makes it another great example. It's Smash Brothers for people who shower slightly more. So yeah, I've been playing. That's one of the show it off. But I think I want to come to now the last thing I want to talk about. And I am hoping, Jack, that you're watching it along. Jack, please tell me that you're watching Dragon Ball Daima.
Yes.
All right, yes. All right, good.
Yes.
Because I watching it too. I'm caught up. I am caught up. Episode 4. And, you know, I'll ask you this. Okay. I'll ask you this, and I ask the audience can chime in. Do you want to do like a weekly basis talking about each episode as it comes out, or do you just want to wait till when it's over and we talk about the whole season? Because I could do both. Because just these 4 episodes, it tickled the part of my brain that loves Dragon Ball. It's rekindled it.
I would like to do the episode 1 where like each episode we talk about a little bit about it.
Okay, then you know what? Starting from this episode onwards, excluding maybe special episodes like our gaming stuff, we will have our Dragon Ball Daima discussion segment. So that's gonna be our thing from now on till the show ends. Okay, so and because of that, we're gonna be full on spoiling because I don't want to talk around it. I want to go in the weeds. So this is the warning. You know, right now, for those who want to watch it the normal way, you can watch it with English subtitles on Netflix, and that's how I'm watching it. Of course, if you are of a certain type of folk, there are other ways you can watch it. There will be an English dub. Apparently, there's gonna be a theater premiere of the first 3 episodes, I think, of the English dub in theaters. It's in November 14th.
Yeah, but want to watch it.
That is on a Thursday. That is on a Thursday. That is on a Thursday. Yeah, then yeah, no, we had to work way ahead of time to do that.
Yeah, damn.
All right, so wait, hold on. Gales says last episode felt
hopefully it stays in theaters for like till December.
Gales says, I doubt. I think it's just a special like occasion.
Yeah.
Gales says, as because you're legally obligated to watch Daima. That's true. It's contracted in our blood. That's why all those Mayans and Aztecs sacrificed those people because they weren't watching Dragon Ball.
See, and here's the thing. I just want to make a small comment about that. So, I never really watched like all of Dragon Ball. I barely remember any of the Dragon Ball stuff. But I can definitely tell that Daima is very much Dragon Ball. Like, and whenever I was looking at you can tell when someone like really, really, really enjoyed Dragon Ball and like the whole series, including Z and Super. Because in the comment section from the site that I'm watching it on, oh, you can tell that they only love Z and up.
Oh no.
You can tell that they only love Z and up, and that's it. The comments are vile, and I'm like, what are you talking about? This whole show has been so much fun. I love it. I love the dynamic for these characters. With Glorio da. Every single time when Goku's like, with Glorio da. Just like has to correct his name every single time.
Exactly. I and actually, you know what? Okay, so I want to first off say this. Number one, kudos with the show for not taking place during the Super era and just establishing that this takes place right after the Buu saga.
Yeah,
like right and after.
Also, quick question: is Daima canon to the? I thought it was its own thing, right?
It's its own thing, as in like it's like a side story. But I mean, at this point, I mean, what might as well have a canon. Okay. Actually, you know what? Because Toriyama personally worked on this show, as in like he was in before his death. He like actually like wrote screenplays and had an overarching plot and so forth, and did the character designs. That is as canon as you get if the creator is working on the show.
That is true. So, like, I really love the show itself. The vibes, the way it feels is perfect. Uh, I don't know what those people that like. Yeah, I love Z as much as anyone else, but you gotta respect where Z came from, which is Dragon Ball, and you gotta understand that Dragon Ball initially had its wacky moments. It had a lot of wacky moments. I mean, the fact that Goku was so innocent at that time that he was literally asking a woman where her balls at.
Exactly. Where's your third leg?
Where's your third leg?
Oh man. But I first I want to I want to say that aside from taking place properly in the Z era, I also love the fact that they made Piccolo a demon again.
Yeah.
And I love how far Toriyama had to go to retcon his old retcon. And the funny part is he didn't really write anything new. It's just more like because of Deborah, it's like vaguely talked about that there's a demon world. And so Daima naturally is like, oh yeah, let's actually explore that concept. And because of that, here's a way to explain how the Namekians are actually demons. Oh my god. Oh my god, yes. And it's good to see Piccolo again. Hopefully he does get to do stuff. Hopefully we get to see the cast join in on the adventure sooner rather than later. And also I do love the fact that for this show, for what I've seen so far, which is there 5 episodes or 4 episodes? I'm only up to this past weekend I watched all the way to episode 4, which was the only ones available on Netflix.
Let me double check.
Because Gil mentioned something how they're like gathering items, and I don't remember them doing that yet. Episode 4, like they just entered the demon world with the third.
There is only episode 4. I think when he meant gathering items, he just meant as in the fact that on that last episode they were just gathering some cool looking items to use later on. Cool looking plot devices for later on.
I'm trying to remember because all I remember episode 4 is the
bugs.
Oh, okay. Wait, bugs?
Yeah, the bugs.
Wow, I can't remember.
In 4, whenever they go into the shop, they're talking to the old couple, and Goku sees a barrel or a bunch of barrels full of bugs, and he's like, what's that, and he's like, oh, okay, this one gives you a lot of energy, this one gives you this one gives you that.
How did I miss this?
Do you not remember that one?
How did I miss this scene?
Do you remember the part where they got launched into the air?
I only remember the when they were checking in their hotel when and Goku was hungry, so they went by a nearby tavern and they had a bar fight.
And did you remember the continuation after that, where basically they got stranded because someone stole their car or their plane?
Yeah. And then
did you remember them walking out into the actual desert?
No, because that's where the episode ended.
So you don't remember them actually walking out in the desert?
No.
Okay, then yeah, you hold on. Let me look at Netflix. I have Netflix still.
Is Netflix messing with me? Because I would have remembered something like that. Weird. Not unless there's some weird. I did watch episode 4. Yeah, that's.
No, there you watched. At least from what it sees here, There's 3, and then there's 4. 4 is available in 3 days.
Wait, I'm confused.
See Conspiracy, which is episode 1, Glorio, which is
Yeah,
episode 2, where she
yeah,
meets everyone,
yep.
and 3 is when Goku and friends barely enter the demon world, and they had that bar fight, and at the end of it, they saw that their plane got
Wait, on Netflix, does it say episode 4 is still coming, or is it there?
episode 4 available November 8th.
Okay. I think you know what it is. I think when that third episode ended, it was saying something to the fact it was saying November, episode 4 comes out here, and that's why I'm misremembering. So yeah, because I'm following Netflix because I want to watch it on my TV. I am not caught up to, I guess, the Japanese broadcast, so they're gonna be an episode ahead.
Okay, so I didn't spoil too much, to be honest.
Okay.
I left out some
but
details just in case.
does that mean I have to kind of get on the computer and watch it through that way if we're gonna keep up? Because I really just want to lay down on my bed and watch it on my TV.
You have a laptop, you can pull up the laptop into your belly and just watch it from there. But you don't have to. We can always talk up to episode 3.
Oh yeah, man, it's just that's it. This is the I just want convenience. That's really what it is. I don't want...
Hey, I mean, there is no shame in that. I also sometimes would rather watch something laying down than hunched over a computer screen.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, but it's gonna bother me because then I know that everyone's gonna be actually episode ahead, and we're technically behind.
Well, if you want to, you can try to catch up eventually one of these days.
I'm not gonna say that, Ghetto. Fine. I'll watch it like you guys. I'll hunch up on the computer because I don't want to use it because you don't want convenience. Fine.
Actually, can't you do this? Can't you plug in your computer into your TV monitor? Into your TV.
That's already that's already doing more. I know what you're going for. I can do that, but that's already doing more work just to go to my settings to make sure that it's properly showing and to get everything set up. I just want to just get my remote, turn on the TV, go to where Daima is, press play, done. But I'm willing to forego that so that we're properly up to date.
I feel that though. I do feel that. I understand you. I was just trying to see if maybe you haven't thought about it.
No, I have thought. I have done stuff like this, and I have tried done on TV. Only reason I don't use it is because of as big and expensive that TV is. Damn thing can barely run 60 frames a second. And it's not, it's not meant to. It's not because it's not like a proper monitor. But man, it's just what a waste of money. It could show off all these 4K visuals, but can't even run something in the proper frame rate. Anyways, if
it's just web browsing, that's weird.
Not just with games. With games, because I try to do the thing where okay, have it shown on my TV so I can play my PC games on a bigger screen, but then it affects the performance because the games are running the games that need to run 60 can't even be run 60 on the TV screen. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. That's a different issue.
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and I'll watch it the way you guys like to watch it.
Yeah, if you ever need the site that I use, I can always.
I'll find a site. I'll always find a site. I've been in this game long enough.
True, but this one has some nice features that almost feel like Netflix, where it's an auto start for watch lists. You have a watch lists, bookmarks, all that good stuff.
I
other service providers have.
I don't need that shit. And I'm gonna watch it on a computer in that way. I want it to be the most anachronistic thing ever, because that's how I know it's legit. Weebs and nerds don't care about convenience. Convenience is for normal people. They just want to get the thing as fast as they can. That's what it means to do that stuff. F convenience. Convenience is for losers.
Damn, you're calling me a loser. How?
Got myself a loser. All right, to get back on Dragon Ball.
All right. So let's talk about episode 1 first.
Well, yeah, okay. We'll talk briefly because I don't want to go too far into it. But,
yeah.
All right.
The one thing I really want to talk about from episode 1 is this.
Right.
Right off the bat, I love how everything looks. The animations for this, it was beautiful. And I also love the fact that they kind of like, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they like remade the shots of the Boo arc?
I want to say yes, but I can't say for sure because the Boo arc is the one arc I'm the least familiar with Z. But I'm gonna go on.
Looking at it, the art style looks different for each fighter when it came to Z.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's a mixture of Toriyama style back then and his modern style.
Yeah.
So it is a kind of a weird mixture, but hey, it's done very well, and it's nice to see. Like, remember when this happened and then this happened. I do love that.
Confirm. He says, yeah, they did reanimate a bunch of it. Oh, perfect. Yes.
I do love that.
It looks so amazing.
I do love that the episode 1 just serves as okay, here's a breakdown of what happened in the Boo saga that you need to know.
Which is pretty good. I mean, some people might have skipped over the Boo saga.
Yeah. Some say cowards, some say smart people. It depends on who you ask. The true cowards are those who skip the Go On High School episodes. Those are the true cowards.
Oh my god, I actually really enjoy those episodes.
They are fun episodes, and the Great Sandman is GOAT. You can't say otherwise. JFK supports the Great Sandman and his help on West City. He's got my vote. I don't like the JFK there.
Man, it was such a it was a very good start, especially with I do like the implications, or not even implications, the already kind of confirmed stuff that Shin is also a demon.
Oh yeah, that's right. And I do love the one feature that makes a demon is the fact that they have pointy ears.
Do you have a pointy ears?
You're a demon.
Damn right, those elves with the knife ears.
Just like is Toriyama saying all elves are demons?
Damn. Am I a demon?
I do love that simplicity they're bringing into the show of stuff that is reminder of old Dragon Ball, of these simple explanations. And one thing, as I was especially watching episode 1 of Dragon Ball Daima, was that it got me to realize that Dragon Ball, the whole series as a whole, is like one of the few unique stories that seamlessly blends so well sci-fi and fantasy. Because when you think about it, the demon world is like it's a mystical place that exists in between all these different universes, and yet but yet their way of transporting the demons into the proper universe is literally going to a toll booth of sorts with that big fish thing.
Yeah.
And they gotta have these and I like how they don't call it spaceships, they just see it as like what did Glorio call it?
A plane.
It's a plane. It's just a plane. Never mind the fact it could travel through space. They just see it as a plane. Advanced pizza technology is equivalent to something that you'll see on Earth. So I do love how Torian has that imagination to mix those together rather seamlessly. Like you don't even question it. You don't question why do these powerful magical demons need a plane to enter the main outside world.
Imagine just like the fact that Deborah had to go through one of them planes. If all of them, okay, I'm pretty sure it's a case of like, oh yeah, he just went on a bigger plane. But imagine if they kept that size of plane. Imagine how cramped he must have been inside that thing.
He probably I mean, that's a funny image to think. Oh, you know, most likely probably had like his own personal vessel because he was a king.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but still, it is funny to imagine that big old guy, a big old guy in a tiny, itty bitty living space. And what do you think of King Goma so far? Besides the fact that he's giving me tons of what's his name, Pilaf vibes, except a little bit more threatening.
Yeah, yeah. He does give off a ton of Pilaf vibes. I like him. I like him for what he is. Currently, there isn't much to him other than what we see in episodes 1 and 2, or a little bit of 2.
Yeah,
Not much. But,
yeah. I also,
but there's gonna be room for him to develop more as the villain.
yeah. Also, I want to give a shout out. Who's a lady character? That lady demon, the scientist. What's her name again?
Oh, the one inside the actual royal castle.
Yeah, the one who's clearly gonna betray King Goma.
Ah, damn it, I forgot. It was something. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. I'm looking her up too. Her name is. I'm sure. Watch Ghetto be right on the money. As they're trying to look this up. Watch. No. It is. Oh, Doctor Arinsu. There you go. Dokutu Arinsu. Arinsu? Doctor.
Dokuta Arinsu.
I'm trying to see if there's a pun there. Arinsu. Doctor.
Jin.
Doctora Arinsu. I don't see a pin.
What about
a pun.
Degesu?
Yeah, maybe there's no pun. Why is this a Dragon Ball character with no pun in their name? In any case, when I saw Doctor Arinsu, at first I was like, well, there's our next bait for the Dragon Ball fandom. Wonder how they're gonna use her. But actually, I do really like her design. Mostly, all of it comes down to the hair. I love the hair they gave her.
The hair is pretty wild.
Because when I looked at her, funny enough, she looks like a Dragon Quest character more than a Dragon Ball character, and I appreciate that. You know, besides the game series and Dragon Ball have literally the same art style, Toriyama approaches design very differently. Because when you look at Dragon Ball, Toriyama used a lot of contemporary designs when it comes to clothing and architecture. Because in some manners, Dragon Ball kind of reflects modern world, or at least at the time what the modern world was to Toriyama back in the mid 80s. And Dragon Quest is all supposed to be fantasy, so he approaches things from a very fantasy aesthetic. And so I look at Dr. Arimusu, I look at her and like if that is like if you show me this character and I did not know she was from Dragon Ball, I could have sworn to you was like, oh, what is she from Dragon Quest? She looks like a Dragon Quest character. And again, I love the hair. I love the goofy hair she has. Funny enough, it brings everything together, and it gives her a good silhouette. Because if you take out the hair, if she had like more natural or like generic woman female hair, she really wouldn't stand out. So literally, the hair brings the entire design together of just how when you look at her, she seems a little weird and maybe can catch you off guard. Yeah, Ghetto says that her name comes from the Japanese way of saying to exist. Oh, okay, so it's a Japanese pun, not an English pun. Got it.
Oh. Her name lines up with Goasu and Zamasu.
Tokutura Rinsu. I see. Naruhodo.
Arinsu.
Naruhodo. 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 Naruhodo.
Naruhodo. Naruhodo.
Oh. Anyways, all right. So,
Can we also remind ourselves that I thought it was something that I might have misremembered, but coming from the wiki, the Glind, as they were called, the race that the Supreme Kai is, they're basically fruit. Yeah, they're fruit people. They're born from magical fruit that grows off of a tree.
is that how Shin explained his backstory?
Apparently it's from some guide, but basically says no, it was never explained anywhere in Daima. But it says here the core people are born from magical fruit that grows off the kaiju, appearing as male and female. The average core person possesses abilities. Their lifespan is around 75,000 years, but if they're born from a golden magical fruit, they can live up to several millions of years.
Huh. I don't remember that being established in Z. Not unlike, not if that's something like that's in the Dogensa, like those little magazines where Toriyama kind of made up stuff to answer like fan questions.
Yeah, I think that was because it was from the Dragon Ball Super Exciting Guides.
Yeah, so it's outside material. So for that stuff, like even with some of the stuff Toriyama said in regards to that, that's I take it as canon. You can take or leave because it ultimately doesn't really affect anything.
It's just weird.
Yeah, it's just weird. Yeah.
Imagine you're in the middle of trying to eat an apple and then it just turns into a woman.
Some people might like that. Anyways, I do find it weird that Shin or Supreme Kai, he's the one that's tagged along for the ride. Well, not well. I guess well, it's not weird because it makes sense how they're applying the story. But I do find it an interesting decision to have him to write it so that he joins with Goku. And I'm trying to think that, well, with the exploring the demon world, there's really no other character you could use to really be as like the viewer's guide as the way to explain all the phenomena that's going to happen in the demon world.
That's very true. Especially you can definitely tell that I don't know, I feel like they, of course everyone's been nerfed because they're children. I mean, they got through the whole explanation of them finding their bodies weird to move around and their sense of like
The
distance is kind of all out of whack as well. Plus their key. But especially during that, I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit just as an example. Especially through that bar fight, kind of notice that like Shin really gets like surprised by a lot of these things.
I think that falls in line with how Toriyama, especially in Super, how he kind of characterizes Shin, because I still I feel like he probably changed his mind on how he wanted Shin to be, like ever since he introduced him back in Z. Like if you remember the episodes where Shin appeared, that guy was mugging like well,
Yeah,
not
man,
mugging. Yeah, that's those squinty eyes, and he was the way he
that
glared.
smug look. Oh my god, it's like literally that smug look you get from a cat.
Exactly, and then come to learn like you have no right to be smug like that. couldn't could help. You can't even stop Majin Buu by yourself, and you're not even the most powerful being in the universe. So I was like, "What the like? Get that smug look on your face, shit. You don't try to play us like that."
I gotta really like drive it home. Here you go. Just to give you, I know you already know what I'm talking about, but there you go.
Oh no, what's it?
In the sources, the smuggiest smug look ever.
Oh my god. Yep, that's Lord. Oh man, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna save it here. I like say I guess our audience a little something. Where is let's see. Here it is. There we go. There you go. I'm gonna have Smug Shin in the corner, staring at the audience while we talk about the show. Don't mind him, folks. He's just hanging out. Just don't look at him in the eye.
Don't look at him in the eye. What are you looking at?
And the more I look at this Smug Shin, the more he's looking at me like, I like what I see. Like, oh no, but you're a guy. You're not supposed to have those feelings.
No, you're a fruit.
Oh wait, no, I forgot Elder. Oh wait, I forgot Elder Kai is a total perv. I forgot about that.
That too.
That's completely normal. Ghetto says he knows something you don't. Alright, so back to the show. I want to there's not too I would say there's not too much to mention because a lot of the interesting stuff for me happens in episode 1. And episode 2, mainly is kind of like we're looking at the result of the stuff that happened in 1 with it's as we see our heroes turn to kids or babies. And though I did find it funny how Bulma naturally just made Kabuto like her little servant boy. And like at first he was like he was like being polite, and helping out. Then at a certain point he was like, "Can you like stop asking me? Like I'm a god. Why am I doing this?" I just like that Bulma has that natural charisma that she can even like. I love that. She has that even as a kid. She has that natural charisma, but also like leadership and authority that she can make a god do what she says.
And the fact that both Bulma and Chi-Chi, I mean, can you even say they freaked out? They're just like, oh my god, look at her skin.
I know they just enjoy the fact that they had nice young skin again rather than they were kids. If anything, only even remember the scene when everyone's at the table discussing and there's that camera shot where we see all the characters' legs. It was like so funny and so cute. Everyone's trying it's a serious discussion, and yet everyone's legs just hanging out on the chair.
It's like a scene off of Final Fantasy 14 where every single Lalafell is like in a cutscene together. Like, okay, I know we're talking about espionage and coups here, but can we talk about the elephant in the room where you guys don't look imposing at all?
As your feet are dangling from the chair. Oh, I thought that was a funny shot. I do want to ask, what do you think of Glorio?
I like him. He's the straight man to Goku.
I thought that'd be more Shin, since Shin is playing off of more. You know what? I just kind of realized. Realize that they kind of have a trio going where you're right. Glorio's like the straight man, and he's the one that's kind of in charge. You have Goku, who's he's the goof, and he's like the dumb. Of all intents and purposes, he's the dumb muscle. And you have Shin, who he's like where he's the anxious one, but he also the one that's informative and knows a lot of things and can explain stuff. But he's always like, "Oh, careful, Goku! Oh, Goku, don't do that! Like, if anything, I think I started to see why Toriyama made it this way. He's like trying to make a comedy trio out of these 3 characters. Yeah. Man, it ain't no 3 Stooges, but everyone can walk over each other. Like, so it's like a matter of time before Glorio loses his cool. I'm sure there's gonna be an episode where he just loses his cool with Goku and Shin.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Also, I love the fact that he is so nonchalant with a lot of these things, especially when we get into again to the bar. Because
that's right.
Goku's here like, man, I'm really hungry, And Glodio, expecting the average person's dietary consumption, he's like, "What? You want a cheeseburger?" And Goku's like, "Give me 5. Give me another."
Give me another. Yo, so it's just like original Dragon Ball. We're so back. It does. And that's what made me happy the most. That watching this, it really does feel like we're recapturing the magic of the original show, albeit less perverted, or for now at least. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Maybe we might have a scene with Dr. Adansu.
Oh.
I mean,
But like that's the thing that I'm really enjoying how Daima is right now.
yes.
Those people those diehard Z fans that only like Z and nothing else. You just
They can
really it's
they can kiss the tip of they can kiss the tip of my power pole.
yeah. Also, oh, speaking of the power pole, that poor thing, the freaking power pole. Where did I keep that thing?
Oh, that's right. It went from Goku used as like a shortcut to head over to Korn's tower, and then Korra let Master Roshi borrow it, and then he never gave it back, and it just ended up using it as a holder for laundry. I love
Degraded into a laundry drying rack.
that's one of the few times where like of using a mystical weapon for a mundane task was actually funny.
Yeah. Especially when Turtle was just kind of like looking at it and it's like,
also love the fact that it's even though is established that Master Roshi did have hair when he was young, when they did make Master Roshi young, he is still bald.
Yeah.
Oh man. It also says it's like they looked at GT and went do it over. Exactly. It's exactly. And I hope they keep it up because then we can then say that Daima is what GT wanted to be.
True. I'm holding like it's so far it's been very good and I'm liking how it is.
Oh man. But I think we'll just stop there for now and come next week. I would be properly catched up with, I'm assuming will be episode 5, and then we'll be able to talk the show properly from there on then. And so with that, it is time. Oh, yeah, one more thought.
Remember that next week I thought we were gonna do the Dragon Ball Z thing or the Dragon Ball Sparking game.
You're right. Thank you. So that means that when we come back to and then after that our special 200th episode. So this is an early thing to say. On episode 201 we'll bring back the Daima discussions and we'll be up to date for I think episode 8 by that point.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so oops, we wanted to do episode per episode, but this is how things roll. So yes, and as Jack said, next week we are doing a game night stream, and we're going to be playing Dragon Ball Sparking 0. That will be fun. Which means I gotta do some grinding to at least unlock a few more characters, and at least beat Goku's episode. I'm on the Boo Saga. Like I just got into the Boo Saga with him. And I haven't started any other characters episodes. But so look forward to that stream for episode 199, and of course we have something very special planned for episode 200 and an important major announcement on that same episode. But with all that said, Jack, go ahead and share anything you would like to everything you'd like to announce for your current ongoing streams or other projects.
So let's see. Tomorrow, everything should go back to normal. We've done our thing for October, so I'm gonna be taking a small break from the horror games. Depends unless if something catches my eye. I don't know if I'll ever play Silent Hill 2. I saw a friend with a similar specs to my PC playing it, and oof, it
Yeah,
was not doing well on stream because of the
yeah,
optimization of some sorts.
yeah. Yeah, I can confirm that that anecdote because I saw let's do other people talk about the game. Yeah, the it's not just a PC version. All versions of the games they're not right. They're not optimized well, and so people have to do some weird stuff to get it up and running. Um, so I would recommend waiting for a patch if
Mm-hmm.
to fix that because apparently it is like uh it is a really it is a really great remake from what I understand.
Yeah. So, that won't come until two things happen: me get enough money to buy it, and two, that they fix it up a little bit to optimize it better. Other than that, tomorrow will be me continuing on with any other games I'm playing. So currently, I'm thinking of continuing with the Pokemon game or the Pokemon mod that I'm playing right now. We'll be continuing that little road trip, which is actually it's always fun to play the fan made ones because Game Freak is just not doing that great. Uh,
For now, until they release a good game, then everyone being like, then all those YouTube videos will be, Game Freak is back. It's gonna happen.
they're not back for me until they let me go into every individual house and look into people's trash and talk to them.
You never know. You might be the one that
Well,
makes
we'll
that video.
see.
You might be the one that makes that video. What's the rise, fall, and resurrection of Game Freak?
Oh.
And all it is, you just spout Wikipedia knowledge about about everything that happened with Game Freak.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. This one video I was trying to watch but couldn't get through because it was so damn annoying. Basically, the guy, every transition, every little thing that was remotely a transition had a camera shutter noise, and he made a lot of transitions.
Well, you know, it's an artistic decision.
An annoying one. But I digress. The Wednesday, Pokemon. Thursday, we'll see what we can do for Thursday and Friday. And then from there it's business as usual until the 20th. Remember, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, not counting this one.
Oh,
In 2 weeks,
that's right. Your debut.
debut of the new model in 2 weeks.
There you go. And as for my announcements, again, some progress on the Saint Seiya video. The beginning portions of the video are done and edited. Might need some revision as I go back to the editing process, but that is done. And so I'm gonna properly go into the actual meat and potatoes, the large portion of the video that needs the most editing. So basically, the part I dread the most because all of the you know it's the beginning parts of the video they're not easy, but they're simple to get through, and I can edit them pretty well. But that middle portion of any project is like where the actual stuff is. What I'm talking about is like get ready to use the snipping tool so many times. But I do it for the love of the game. So progress on that. Uh, of course, with the conclusion of my RE live stream, don't expect any more live streams from me unless I just honestly get in the mood for it or have something planned. Or if I have something planned. Otherwise, I'll try to keep making video content again. The Spider-Man reviews won't. The next batch of Spider-Man Ultimate Spider-Man review won't be won't be ready to do till January. So you know it's only 2 months really. And I'm gonna try. And as soon as I read all the absolute books of the DC Trinity. I'll be also working on getting those working on those review, which will be in the same vein as the Ultimate Spider-Man. So quick So quick edited and scripted reviews of those comics. And with that, that is all for episode 190, not 98. I'm sorry, we're not 99, 98 of the Hack Jack Show. A short reprieve of our gaming adventures, but we're going to go back to another game night, hopefully with the next episode. So look forward to that. And look forward to us to our discussions of Dragon Ball Daima until that show ends. So if looking forward to anything, look forward to our live to our live not reactions. No, and I mean
Commentary?
No, because like our thoughts and opinions as the show goes on. There you go. It'll be just like talking about TV shows in the water cooler, except with more weebs. And with all that said, thank you very much for watching. And this is Hack and Jack. Sign out.